Marla. Hey, Rick. Hey, Bill. First on. Vicky. Good to see you. Bill, Vicky, Marla, Rick, of course. Marla is one of our featured stars for this morning. All right, 6 people waiting. How's the sound? Everything going awesome? Awesome. Okay, let me stop the track really quickly. We have 2 new blues tunes for you. One is Blues for Marla, and the second one is Memphis Blues. And we're going to dig into these. Make sure that you guys click your links. So just a couple of housekeeping things, and then I'll get in the chat in just a minute. But all of these charts are in all of the academies. So all access group, you have your Labor Day. I sent you guys the link, but you also have links to the master folder. But inside the Labor Day weeks folder, and it says that inside the folder that I sent out, so it should be very obvious. There's Blues for Marla, and then there's Memphis Blues. And then Chord Academy, same thing. You guys, if you're in Chord Academy, I put those 2 links in today's date, today's folder, and it says something like Marla and Memphis Blues or something like that. If you're a YouTube channel member, which we are growing in that area, we're at 13, and those are already ready to go. Also, I sent out a post that attached this video for today that shows you, hey, this is what we're working on, and you have those inside the YouTube membership. So 3 ways to get the folders, or sorry, the PDFs. And I've been adding for my YouTube membership, we've been adding everything to the Memphis YouTube folder. So we should be good. And another thing, if you are watching this on replay or if you're in the chat now, in the description to this video are all of the links, whichever membership you're in, or if you're a YouTube member, they're all in there. So you just have to click whatever you are a member of. All right, enough of that. We're going to start with Blues for Marla. And we're going to talk about why we are doing Blues for Marla. Let me check one thing. Awesome. Doug is a YouTube member, and he got all the PDFs. Perfect. I love to hear that. All right, I think I've got everybody else so far. Yep, Blues for Marla. So, Marla, when I was doing this song for you, I wanted to have something that's very simple, but also it kind of talks about what we've been talking about. And it's kind of this idea, let me just pull the chart up here, is this idea of 5/6 root. Okay, so we do that Yard Work Blues does, right, where it's the 5/6 root. So whatever key you're in, you have this idea of 5/6 root. So I go, here's Marla's Blues, 1 and 2 and 3, and then we go up to this D, right? And then up to the minor third. And I like this because we spend a lot of time doing minor third to major third, right? So this does kind of the Ray Charles where you go, you can go down to the second note or you can go up to the second note. So we go. And notice how nice this fits under the hand. And then it does something interesting. It goes. Now, that is the 6th note, which we just said is such an important part of our blues playing, right? Going up to that 6th note. And then we go back down to the minor third, which gets that really interesting interval of the tritone. So you have, then does it again. And then we have this. And then it starts over in a perfect loop. Now, if you are enjoying that PDF, awesome. Dad, good to see you. Dad and Vicky, you guys are It's good to see you this morning. Love this song, very bluesy. That's right, and very simple, but what a cool thing to have that 5/6 root. And when you jump up an octave or go up and down, it's nice. It's just a nice thing to. It kind of comes out of nowhere, but at the same time, it's just a beautiful way of taking a simple idea and then giving you that tritone, which is sort of a shock to the system. What's up, Hugh? Good morning. I love how all of our members in the different academies come in and say hello to each other. I know I tell you guys that a lot, but it's very awesome to see that. Let's turn on the track and have some fun with Marla's Blues. I missed that. Now watch if I just go to the first 4 notes of the A blues scale. I'm just using notes from Marla's song. Here we go. Let's do a little Marla's Blues. Here we go. All right, now even doing Marla's Blues, let me stop this just for a second. Even doing Marla's Blues, it inspired me to play the sort of the Ray Charles thing that normally we do for What I'd Say, which starts on the 5th, but sliding down to that. And it just made me to do the same pattern from What I'd Say, but do it on the 3rd, because we're putting that D in there, right? So, and then notice that I went 5/6 root. I went, which to me works beautifully as to complement Marla's Blues. All right, let's check the chat, see how everybody's doing. All right, so let's see. Hey, Hugh, anybody enjoying your PDF so far? I've been writing a lot of PDFs for you. For you guys, I have 2 more that I'm gonna do. I'm gonna try to do them today. I've got to do Vance's Blues, and then there's one other blues that I have to write out. But I had to go, and we're about to do Memphis Blues, so hang in there. Let me know if you're enjoying this, and maybe also let me know if you sort of see or are getting something from this PDF or this particular blues. For me, it's the simplicity of the melody, because we're getting in the 5/6 and root that we've been talking about. And isn't it funny that, or nice that, even though we've been using the same type 5/6 root this past week, and even minor 3rd, like I could just play you all of these different PDFs, but they're the same notes, but different ways. Like this, if you do Blues on the Move, or Yard Work Blues. Same exact notes, just different order and different feel. So I love the fact that we have this limited amount of notes, but we can turn them around and make them totally different melodies by just changing up the feel and the order of the notes. And even doing this is kind of a really neat, different thing to add in Marla's Blues. Okay, let me give you a couple other tips about this song, and then we're going to move on to Memphis Blues, which is going to complement this very, very awesomely. All right, so if you have the rhythm we're using is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can go long, short if you want, but I'm just doing short this morning. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. You don't have to do that for Marla's Blues. You can go. Just see, I'm doing whole notes or half notes. But if you want to practice the half notes, just practice. You can do left hand only if you want, and I encourage you guys to do that as well. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. So the end of 2, downbeat is 1 and the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So if you were going to line that up with Marla's Blues, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. That's by itself. 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3 and that's together, the D and the F. Notice the A is with the end of 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Now listen to the way I practice that second measure. 1 and 2 and. Got that, Rick? 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. And as I always say, you can play something slow and straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. Let me do it slow and straight again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, or 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. It might. I'm probably not doing a good job of explaining this slow and straight because I really want to play it fast. But here's the thing. One, Rick, we can play this slow and straight and with half notes. So remember, whole notes or half notes. We can play it like this. But if you want to work on the rhythm, you're going to do this. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now watch this. This is downbeat. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and that's almost the whole song. 1 and 2 and 3. That's by itself. The end of 2. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. 1 and 2 and 3. 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Yeah, it's not so bad. And so if we take this and break it down into small sections, 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3. And let's say you just practice that. 1 and 2 and 3. And now watch this. This is by itself. 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and. All right, now we're going to turn on the track one more time, and then we're going to go to Memphis Blues. I'm so excited for you guys to have these PDFs. Here we go. Now I'm just gonna like groove and play that 1 and 2 and 3 and practice that, Rick. Where I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and short, 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 short. How about A blues scale? Or and Marla. Okay, now because we're about to do Memphis Blues, but before we do that, I want to show you guys one other really important thing that we did yesterday. I did a pop-up lesson, and that's actually how these tunes were inspired. A funny thing happened is that I went live, and we had several people watching, and Vicky and I were talking, and I said, yeah, this is just a pop-up lesson. I said, normally we have a lot of interaction and in the chat, and I said, it's just Vicky and I, and we're just talking, and I'm like, why in the world is nobody enjoying this or a part of this? And then I got a message from Bill that said I had members only chat on for the YouTube channel. So that was fun. All right, we have 17 people watching. This is awesome. All right, so now we're about to get into Memphis Blues, but before we do, everybody lock in. Give me an L for lock in. That's not a loser thing. It's a lock in, because here's what I want to remind you. If I think C major, C triad, you can go ba-dee-da-da-da. That's my enclosure, and then watch this. I can go to minor on the F chord, right? Da-dee-da-da-da, and then watch this. So for the F7, you can always go minor, and then on diminished, you just go to F sharp. So I can play a whole blues, and anybody watching this can play a whole blues by just doing that simple concept. Watch how easy this is. I'll start with the triad. Minor, major, and then maybe Memphis Blues right there. Blues lick. And now I'm going to do that again because it's so awesome and easy. C triad and minor triad. Here comes the minor. Bluesy from Memphis. Marla's Blues. How about blues scale? Yard work. All right. Now, there's silliness in there, but I always see those. If you ever seen those jazz memes where they go, the guy plays the thing for the whole thing over the whole chorus where it never changes. Those are really fun. But there's a lesson in there, is that we can take those simple ideas, like first four notes of the A blues scale, and you can play it over the entire blues, and you could just space it out and let the time go by and practice singing along. Boo da da da, boo da dee da 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 da, ba da da doo da da dee da 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 da. 2, 3, and Marla's Blues. All right, now let's transition into Memphis Blues. Who's excited about that? Give me a yes. Give me a Y in the chat now. This is going to be fun and very much complement Marla's Blues. Let me go ahead and pull this up. As a reminder for anybody watching, we have a YouTube membership now. We have 13 members, and then our newest member is Tony. Shout out to Tony again. Tony's going to have his blues coming very soon. And for my all access members, make sure you go click your folder. All the charts are in there, as well as my Chord Academy. We are not doing Chord Academy in the morning. This is a combined lesson. I have somewhere I have to be in the morning, and so this is a combined lesson. But your charts are in there, and I have 2 PDFs for Chord Academy as well. And for our YouTube channel, which is literally the price of a coffee a month at its lowest tier. Now, we have lots of people that double and triple dip at iMusicAcademy. They're members of Chord Academy. They're members of All Access, and they want to be a part of the YouTube channel. I'm very thankful for all of that. And for my non-members, I have tons of people that are signing up to get the PDFs, like, hey, they want access to the folder. I can't give you access to the folders unless you're members of these academies. It doesn't work like that. So the YouTube membership, the only way to get access to those things is just hit join. It's a cup of coffee. Not only that, we celebrate you guys being like, once you become a member, everyone will know it. You'll have your little icon. And for a coffee a month is a great way to get started. All right, yes, no lesson tomorrow. I would do it if I was here, but I'm not going to be here. So we're going to do this today, and that's partly why I did one of the reasons I did a pop-up lesson yesterday, just writing out PDFs. All right, here we go. Let's dig into Memphis Blues. Let me pull up the chart. This is going to be fun, everyone. Don't be scared. Okay, Memphis Blues, same exact rhythm. In the right hand, we're doing this little Oscar Peterson thing. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and da 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 da. Okay, that's step 1. And then it does da 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 da. And we're changing it up a little bit. We're going E, F, G, C. So kind of surrounding that C triad, but we go E, F, a little bit different. So we go. And then it goes back and does this again. And then here we do something a little bit different. I'm going to go ba-da-da-da, kind of like you do for Blue Monk. But so we go up to the flat 7. So E up to the flat 7. And there are lots of reasons I changed the melodies. For those of you who downloaded from the folder this morning, I changed the PDF. So I changed the notes and I changed the ending. So download the most recent version. And then we have this one more time. Now, Rick, you're going to like this. Watch what happens. We're going to go 3, 1, 2. And then we end with a suspended chord, a G13 with that sus4. It's an F triad with a G in the bass. So we have at the end, we have da 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 da. And then it starts over again. Now, why did I choose this chord? Because one reason is because we end on a C where we go da 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 da, and it naturally leads to that suspended chord. Right? But it's an F triad with the G in the bass, and it reminds me of Memphis, Dave Grusin feel of Memphis Stomp. There's a really, really amazing song called Memphis Stomp. Now, this Memphis Blues is not for Dave Grusin or Memphis Stomp. This is for one of our newest members of the YouTube channel, Memphis. Is his name. So if Memphis comes on, I would love to say hey to Memphis, but all of these charts are in the YouTube membership. Now, when anybody hits join right away and you join for a cup of coffee a month, you will immediately get access to this folder and a million other things, but it'll show you the lesson we're doing right now. It'll show you the folder that we've done this week, and I keep adding PDFs to this, and this is one of them. So make sure to my YouTube members, click on this and get this PDF. But watch this. This is called a unison run when you do this kind of sound. It's 2 notes at the same time. If I'm doing Oscar Peterson ideas or whatever I'm doing, if I do any kind of run or scale and I'm doing, it's a good skill to practice. And so we're getting that unison playing, same notes in both hands. Isn't that a fun little idea there? Then we start over again. All right, let me check on the chat, and we're going to turn on the thing. Very cool ending. All right, Tony. Did Tony come in or no? Maybe not. Marla said, huge Dave Grusin fan. His music, the Fabulous Baker Boys. Yes. Hey, that is where I first heard that. Absolutely. So, Marla, when you hear that sound right there, it kind of is a reminder of that, right? And before I play that again, I want everybody to remember here, when I do this right here, if I put a F triad, a G bass, and a whole step below, you have that sound. It'll give you that sort of suspended sound. And if you know about Dave Grusin and Memphis Stomp and the Fabulous Baker Boys, you hear that suspended sound. It's so nice. I can even do a D minor 9 to go. Okay, let's turn on the track and do a little bit. Let's kind of settle into Memphis blues. I changed it, sorry. Oh, wait, there's something else I need to show you guys. Let me stop and show you this. Yeah, I changed this PDF about 3 times this morning. When I go to here, I want you to notice it's not the flat 13 voicing. It's actually, I'm using the E there. And the reason, because the melody is that E note. Now, whenever you're playing a melody, an idea, and it goes right where your voicing goes, just do a 2-note voicing. Like jazz pros all the time, they do that kind of thing. So you just take any kind of voicing, A7, A flat 13, or that, and then if you have the melody there, just play a 2-note voicing. And then you're back here, and then you go to unison. Let me check my fingering. So you're gonna be on finger 2 there. Where it says C in the right hand. Normally I would be on E with my 3rd, but because of the fingering, we're gonna go 2, 4, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4, 3, 2, 3. So we're here. All right, let's put that into practice. All right, we have about 5 minutes, and then we're wrapping this up. Let me pull up the chart. Ba-da-ba-doo-ba-dee-ba-da-dum. All right, now, as we start to wind this up, I want to give you guys a couple of fun tips. Did you notice how I went in here and I went even during the actual thing, you have and then on the on the F chord, you can go minor. And then diminish. Yeah, that's pretty funny, Dad. Going to see the baby blues. All right, here we go. 15 people watching. Let's do it one more time, and then we'll say goodbye to each other. Everybody hang in there. Let me show you practicing this idea of unison run. I can go. Memphis. I'm going to go C minor, diminish, Cruella de Vil. All right, here we go. Last one. All right, guys, that was so much fun. Very proud of all of you. Let me say goodbye in the chat. What's up, Jeffrey? Coming in the last minute, the most consistent man at iMusicAcademy. All right, guys, you have 1 minute to say goodbye to each other, and I hope that you've enjoyed this lesson. I sure have enjoyed it and been looking forward to it. Have fun with all of these PDFs, and you're welcome, Marla and Hugh. Good to see all of you. All right, let me go and say goodbye as you guys are doing the same thing. Bill, first on this morning. Vicky, good to see you. Marla, good to see you. Rick, always good to see you. Rick's going to have more time at the gym tomorrow since we're not doing Chord Academy tomorrow. Vicky, Doug, good to see you. YouTube member, awesome. We also have T-Man, who is a member of everything. You have Hugh, who is a member of everything, including YouTube channel. Rick, Vicky, Doug, Marla, of course, who is a huge State Cruising fan. Jeffrey, the most consistent man at iMusicAcademy. And make sure I got everybody. We missed Vance this morning. Where's Vance this morning? Oh, Vance sent me. I'm gonna have to show you guys what he did. He took one of his blues tune and he made a ragtime version of it. So I know my dad's gonna like that. I've got to notate that as well. All right, guys. So I'll see all of you guys next week. If you're an all access member, I'll see you on Monday. If you're a Chord Academy, I'll see you on Tuesday. And then if you're a YouTube member, I'll always see you as well. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. All right. I can't wait to celebrate the next person who's willing to invest in a coffee a month. Start with the YouTube channel. I'm not going to beg you. All right, Jeffrey, good to see you. Marla, have a good one. Go practice. Keep it simple. Marla's Blues, everyone. And then if you want to combine your I might do a pop-up this weekend. Yes, it's just Friday that I'll be out. I might do one, Marla, just for you. But if I have one tip for you guys and all of our YouTube channel, actually 2 tips. One would be I'm ready for that next person to join our group. The next thing is just hit join. It's coffee a month. Come on. So the next thing is this. You're either doing Marla's Blues, and then put Memphis in there. Just go. Because Memphis you could do over the whole thing. So it's a really fun thing to keep it simple and just sometimes we do one idea all through the whole blues. You can do one idea over the entire blues, and that's the fun of it. That's the joy of it. All right. And the last fun fact, and this is for me. I'm saying goodbye. But isn't it funny? Like I was over at my dad's yesterday, and I did this. And right away, when I started boo-da-da-da-da, he goes, "Oh, yard work blues." So we have all these blues now. And for now and forever, you're going to think Marla, you're going to think this. When you think of Vance, you're going to think. All right, guys. See you in the next one.